Hello. Welcome back to the How to Cook vlog series, where we chat about all things plant-based cooking to help you be successful while having fun in the kitchen. I'm Nichole Dandrea-Russert, Food Revolution Network's dietitian and recipe developer, and I'm about to share tips and tricks to help answer the question when going plant-based: where do I start? This question arises a lot, and it's a valid question because most of us were either raised or were used to preparing meat as a centerpiece with vegetables as the side, and also cooking with things like butter, milk, and eggs. Naturally, it can be overwhelming and at times paralyzing when completely changing your eating habits to one with all plants. So today I'm sharing 10 tips and one bonus tip to help you get started in a plant-based kitchen. First, we all start somewhere. None of us were born knowing how to prepare crispy tofu or how to make cheese out of cashews. We all start at ground zero and learn a little bit each and every day. And each of these little steps and learning opportunities add up quickly, and before you know it, you're becoming a plant-based chef in your own kitchen. Tip number one is about setting expectations. I'd like to share that even as you become efficient in your plant-based kitchen, not all of your recipe creations are going to be perfect or to your liking. There are times when my recipes are better off in the compost and not on my plate. And there are times when recipes are really good, but not really good enough to add to my recipe library. And that is a-okay. Going in with the mindset that there might be disasters in the kitchen along with successes, and there may be not so delicious meals along with your favorites, is key to keeping stress at bay and fun at the forefront. With each recipe, no matter the outcome, try to find the learning nugget. There is always an opportunity to learn. And most importantly, be gentle on yourself and know that I'm about to share some tips and tricks to help you get started, have fun, and stay inspired while creating plant-based creations in your own kitchen. Tip number two, start with one new plant-based recipe a week. Think about what you currently love. What type of cuisine do you enjoy? Is it a good Italian meal, or perhaps it's Thai food, or maybe it's Mexican? Google or find a plant-based recipe book that includes the flavors from your favorite cuisines. Or perhaps you have a favorite family dish that is traditionally made with meat and dairy. Try to find a plant-based version of that dish online. So your goal for this week might simply to be find one good plant-based recipe that you can make for the week, whether it is from your traditional family recipe or your favorite cuisine. Tip number three, create a shopping list and stock up. Once you have a plan for that one recipe you're going to create for the week, or perhaps you have a full meal plan for the week, carve out some time to create a shopping list and visit the grocery store to stock up on the ingredients. While this process may not sound exciting to some, trust me, it is going to be a huge time saver and stress reliever when it comes to plant-based creation in the kitchen. It is going to save you from having to visit the grocery store multiple times to grab ingredients. If you'd like to take this tip one step further, in addition to grabbing those ingredients for that one recipe you're going to create, grab ingredients to stock your pantry, which is also going to help meal creation throughout the week be that much more efficient. To learn how to stock a plant-based pantry, visit our How to Cook blog. Tip number four, wash, cut, and store your produce. Okay, so you're not quite done after you've left the grocery store. Once you get home, wash any produce that can be washed ahead of time, like leafy greens. Make sure your leafy greens are completely dry before you store them away, or you can store them with a paper towel to capture any moisture so that you don't end up with wilted leafy greens. You can also pre-cut vegetables that you know you're going to be using over the next 2 to 3 days, like onions and peppers. This is especially important when you're incredibly busy throughout the week. You may have a little bit of upfront work, however, you will be very grateful once everything is washed and pre-cut so that you can easily assemble a meal during the week. Tip number 5, organize your ingredients before starting a recipe. This process is called mise en place, and it simply means having everything in place. Measuring out your ingredients ahead of time before starting a recipe is going to result in efficient and stress stress-free recipe creation. It's also going to result in successful recipe creation because you won't be scrambling around your kitchen last minute looking for an ingredient while something is burning on the stovetop. Tip number 6, read over a recipe's instructions before you start making the recipe. Getting an idea of the kitchen equipment that you'll need and knowing what needs to be prepared or soaked ahead of time is helpful to know before you get into the recipe instead of while you're in the recipe. For example, I've attempted to make recipes in the past that require cashew cheese without first looking at the recipe's instructions, only to find out that those cashews needed to be soaked before making the cashew cheese. So this can result in one of two things. I either end up ditching the planned recipe and trying to find something new to make, which can be stressful, or I use unsoaked cashews, which can change the outcome of that dish. Tip number 7, start a recipe library. As I mentioned, you're going to have recipes that are complete winners, and you're also going to have recipes that are just meh. Whether it's printing recipes out and creating a recipe library binder, or bookmarking recipes on your computer, or flagging recipes out of your favorite plant-based cookbooks, hold on to those recipes that you know you and your family love to start building a recipe library. The more that you make these recipes, the easier they'll become. Tip number 8, invest in 1 or 2 beautifully photographed plant-based cookbooks that you can turn to during times when you're feeling unmotivated. Trust me, there are going to be times when you are super excited to be in the kitchen, and there are going to be times where you're feeling a little bit lost and you're thinking, what the heck do I eat? There are also going to be times when the only energy you can muster up is ordering takeout. Flipping through a beautifully photographed plant-based cookbook during these times can help to reignite the motivation and inspiration to get back into the kitchen. If you prefer online plant-based recipes, simply visit your favorite plant-based blog. Tip number 9, focus on one single ingredient. Did you do an awesome thing by purchasing a big bag of lemons to save money only to realize that you have 8 lemons that need to be used ASAP? Search Google or the index of your plant-based cookbook for recipes that use lemons so that you're not left with any wasted lemons. Or perhaps you want to increase your intake of leafy greens. Do the same thing. Search Google or the index of your plant-based cookbook looking for recipes that make leafy greens the star of the show. Focusing on one single ingredient can do 3 different things. First, it can help you use up ingredients in your fridge that are on their last leg. Second, it can help to expand your recipe creation horizons by experimenting with new ingredients. And third, it reduces stress because you've narrowed down your options to focus on just this one single ingredient. Tip number 10, invest in at least one good chef's knife. Having a good, sharp chef's knife on hand is a game changer when it comes to efficient chopping, safety, and having fun in the kitchen. The type of knife that you choose is really up to your personal preference, how the knife feels in your hand, and how comfortable you are using it, as well as your budget. We have an article dedicated to this topic that we will link in the How to Cook blog. Are you ready for your bonus tip? Make a plan. Now, this is coming from somebody who is spontaneous and likes to see what feels good in the moment, meaning I am not a planner, but I can tell you firsthand that there is nothing that feels better than having a plant-based meal plan ready to go for the week. Now, if planning is a struggle for you like it is for me, try to make it a fun project. For example, I will select one of my favorite plant-based cookbooks for the week, and I will bookmark 3 to 5 recipes in there. And then I will create a shopping list from those recipes, go to the grocery store to grab all the ingredients, bring them home, prepare what I can so that they're ready to go in my refrigerator for the week. Now, I do this on Sunday because that's a day where I have time to carve out to prepare these ingredients. That you can pick any day of the week that works for you. And what's great about this is that it greatly reduces stress levels and takes the guesswork out of what do I eat for the week. It's already in the refrigerator, ready to go. So there you have it, 10 tips plus a bonus tip on how to get started in a plant-based kitchen. I'd love to hear all about your plant-based journey, how you plan to get started in the kitchen, or if you're already in the kitchen cooking plant-based meals, how that process is going for you. Please share in the comments. Until next time, I'm Nichole Dandrea-Russert, Food Revolution Network's dietitian and recipe developer. Thanks so much for joining today, and I'll see you soon.